Doc, I'm curious. You about to say something? Because I got a question for you.
Go ahead. Fire away.
All right. I just wanted
Blue.
to know.
Is that the
Bet
answer?
11 billion, right? Betty mentioned something about it's still helpful and we still crave kind of the in-person human connection. Is there in your mind an appropriate, I don't know, length of time or an inappropriate length of time to go between meeting somebody in person? Like, can you really get to the same place without meeting somebody in person? I guess would be the real basis of this question. And if not, how long should you hold off, right? Because we got a lot of professionals that are meeting with people virtually and they're trying to build that relationship. Should I be seeing them once a year? Should it be twice a year? And I know the answer is going to be it depends, but I'm just kind of, if there's some insight you might be able to offer on your end.
I'm going to throw you for a loop. I'm not going to say depends.
Wow.
I couldn't think of a good synonym, so I'll just go into it. So actually, this is where we go
Maybe.
back to something Betty said earlier that I think is super important. Leaning to the generational differences, right? This is where I'll speak for myself as some of the older person in the room, sometimes get stuck on this idea of virtual meeting and connection. We can really look to the youth today and learn a good lesson. They are able to become friends with people all over and never meet, and bond and get some really great friendships, stronger friendships than some of the people that we know in person. And I work with some youth with that in private practice, and get always have that connection to, like, well, did you ever plan to meet them? Like, yeah, maybe someday we'll meet, but that has no connection necessary to that friendship or their relationship. And it's just a different generational thing. So we're so used to meeting in person. We didn't grow up with virtual meetings. We didn't grow up with Zoom calls. We didn't grow up with any of these things. So to really build that connection was meeting that person in person. And that was all we had to do. So now it's shifting that mindset to know that it is okay to do that. And there is a big separation from generations I see in that. When I talk to some of their parents and they're like, how do they have friends? They're not real friends. How do they date that way too? Engage to people that they've never met in person, which is crazy to us when I say that out loud. It sounds so weird, but it's so normal in this younger generation. So it's just shifting that mindset a little bit to see that it is a different world, and just because we don't understand it doesn't mean that it's necessary. So I don't know if that answered your question directly about time, but I think it really depends on how comfortable you are with that and what kind of level that you can kind of connection that you feel. So it is possible. There is still a great thing about human connection. It is the ability to actually put that face to the person and have that context. But I don't think it's necessary to have that kind of relationship anymore once you can get past that idea.